Okay, so am I audible? Yeah, I think I'm pretty audible. Pew pew. Some background noises there. Okay, so this is gonna be rehearsing for day 290 of consistently helping people build consistency. Hi, I'm Laksana, just an average guy trying to be consistent, documenting my own consistency journey online. And here's the thing: I want to be the best of the best in helping people build consistency. Okay. And in order to become the best of the best, well, I need to rehearse every single day. I need to improve my communication skills. I need to improve my English because I'm not fluent yet on English. I need to have better pronunciation. I need to learn to, control my emotions when I'm speaking because sometimes I notice I sometimes get way too fast and my pronunciations are not clear, and I also need to improve my argumentation, do some more research about this and that, and like just give the best of the best advice on how to be consistent at doing positive things and stop doing the negative things. And hey, this is gonna be my rehearsing, okay, for day 290, which actually is today. Today is day 290 of consistently helping people build consistency. So, for your information, I didn't do any live stream yesterday because, I'm pretty much sick. I'm still sick today, but not as sick as yesterday, and I'm pretty much recovered right now. So, yeah, so on today's video, I'm going to be talking about the concept of shiny, shiny object syndrome. Okay, if I do some research, I don't think like you can just Google up shiny object syndrome. Um, so so here's the thing. Here's the thing. So on today's video, I'm gonna be talking about shiny object syndrome and how it can be an obstacle when we are trying to be consistent. Okay, so what is shiny object syndrome, right? It's not really a medical diagnosis. It's more like a term. Shiny object syndrome. Basically, it means that hey, when we found something new, we kind of think like, oh, you know what, this thing is really, really amazing. This thing is really, this is the one thing that I need to be consistent at. This is the thing that meant for me. Like our attention is being focused to this new thing. So, for example, oh, hello, Cooker. Nice to meet you again. So this is going to be day 290 of consistently. Sorry, this is going to be rehearsing for day 290 of consistently helping people build consistency. I'm going to be talking about shiny object syndrome. It's not really a real medical diagnosis. It's not really a medical diagnosis, but basically, shiny object syndrome refers to the thing that happened, the experience that happened when we found something new, right? A new field, some new sport, some new anything, some new field, and we kind of think like, oh, you know what, this thing is really cool. I want to give all my attention, all my effort to this one new thing because it's just amazing. There's so much thing to explore here. It's so cool. I want to be, like I want to be the expert in this field, but then this kind of like obsession only persists for like I don't know, maybe like some quiet short time, some weeks or maybe some months, and then like the obsession is gone, and then we meet another new shiny object. Okay, so for example, oh yeah, like this. I don't know. I'm really interested in boxing. Okay, boxing is really cool. I want to be the best in boxing. I want to be the expert in boxing. I want to be the best boxer in the world. And then on the first week, I actually like practice boxing, but then my motivation to do this to practice kind of like decrease on a day-to-day basis, and then basically at some point I kind of found something new. Oh, you know what? I think like MMA is even way more interesting. So I'm gonna be switching on MMA instead. So basically, we just kind of have the cycle of, oh, you know what? This thing is interesting. We put so much attention and so much energy into that thing, right? Shiny new thing into this shiny new thing. And then basically, like some months later, right, we found another thing. We found another thing that we found enjoyable, right? And then we forget about the previous thing, okay? And then the cycle happens and again and again and again. We focus our attention into this new thing, and then we forget the previous thing, and the cycle goes on and on and on. So basically, this is one of the biggest thing that being the obstacle on for us to be consistent at doing something. Because hey, yes, like there's nothing actually wrong there's not nothing actually wrong with trying something new, but it's gonna be something that's wrong if this new thing is gonna be making our attention from doing the thing that we actually wanted to be consistent at gone. Okay, we do not want the new things in our life, the new priorities in our life, uh, make our other priorities that might be more important or maybe as just as important not being seen. Okay, we want to see our priorities. Okay, and here's the thing: if we, sorry, voice crack. So if we keep on falling into this cycle of new, shiny object syndrome, then how can we actually be consistent at doing something? How can we actually be good? And how can we actually reap the benefit? How can we actually get the benefit from doing something if we do not do it long term, on the long run, just because we keep on jumping into something new, jumping into something new. We only spend our attention at something for just only like 1 month, and then the next month we got we focus our attention on the other thing, on other thing, and then the same on the next month the same thing happens. Okay, we do not want this to happen. We do not want to fall into the shiny object syndrome. Again, it's not a problem to try something new, especially when it's something positive in your life, but just don't make that one new thing, don't make it forget your previous priorities. Okay? So, what is the thing that we are going to be doing in order to not fall into this shiny object syndrome? Basically, pretty simple. The thing that we are going to be doing here is that we are going to be creating a PowerPoint presentation. Not necessarily need to be a PowerPoint presentation. It could be a paper, it could be a book, a journal. Just make sure you are going to be putting these thoughts into something that's concrete. It can be in a digital form, it can be in a paper form, in a paper form. Okay. So here's the thing. We are going to be writing on this. Let's just say this is a priority list. Okay, this is a priority list. We are going to be writing what are the things that we wanted to be consistent on. Okay, so for example, just name three top priorities that you wanted to be consistent at. One, for example, exercising. Okay, two, studying. Three, meditating. Okay, name the top three priorities that you wanted to be consistent at, that you are currently struggling to be consistent, right? So the thing that we are going to be doing here is that one, we are going to be writing why are these things important, okay? Why are these things important? And two, for how many minutes we are going to be allocating our times on doing this thing. So for example, exercising, why exercising is important. We write it all down. Oh yeah, exercising is important because I want to be healthy. I want to look good. I want to be respected because I have, a healthy body. Okay, I want people to actually respect me for having good posture and stuff. I want to be able to spend my old days, right, being a healthy grandpa or a healthy grandma that can stay be active even on his 80s, even on their 90s, right? So that's why exercising is important. And precisely because exercising is important, I'm going to dedicate at least, 20 minutes of my time on a day-to-day basis to exercise. Okay, basically one, we are writing why it's important, and two, precisely because it's important, what are we going to be doing about it? How many minutes we are going to be allocating our time on a day-to-day basis doing that thing. Okay, the same apply with studying. Oh yeah, why do I want to study? Oh yeah, I want to be smart. I want to be the best in my field. I want to be the best in mathematics. I want to be the best in biology, and so on and so on. The same thing applies to meditation. Okay, why it's important, and also how many minutes you are going to be spending your time on a day-to-day basis doing this thing. Okay, and the thing here is that we are going to be reading out loud. We are going to be reading out loud this, we are going to be reading out loud this paper, right? We are going to be reading this paper on a day-to-day basis, basically reminding us, right? Basically reminding us why this thing's important, and also reminding us about our commitment to spend, maybe like 5 minutes of our time to do meditation, and 20 minutes to exercise, 30 minutes to study. Okay, those things, those important things, right? And here's the thing: every single time we kind of meet this new shiny object syndrome, let's say, we've been consistently sticking to meditation, exercising, and studying for like a month, and then we kind of found that, oh, you know what, I kind of find like learning a new language is pretty interesting, or maybe like learning a new musical instrument is pretty interesting. I want to learn to play the guitar. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it, right? There's nothing wrong with it, but when you wanted to be consistent at learning how to play the guitar, okay, you need you need to make sure that one, this new priority of learning the guitar isn't going to make your other priorities getting, what do you say, not being looked at. Okay, we do not want you to be able to be consistent at this one new thing but neglect the other things. Okay, so the thing that we are going to be doing here is that we are going to be one, we are going to be, like writing all the reasons why learning this new thing is important. Okay, is it really that important? Okay, we need to reconsider it. Is it really that important for us to learn the guitar? So, for example, oh yeah, it's really important precisely because I want to express myself. Oh yeah, it's really important. Learning the guitar is really important because when I play the guitar, I can, have some stress relief. I feel like I'm, I'm not stressed when I'm playing the guitar. Okay, that's the thing. Oh yeah, playing guitar is really, really. Excuse me. Okay, so playing the guitar is really important for my mental health. It's also important for my expression, right? I want to express my thoughts, and also, oh hi for the one person that's watching this live stream. This is rehearsing for day 290, and also like we are going to be making sure that, do we actually have the time and energy to allocate, right? To allocate. Oh yeah, hello Cooker for watching. I really do appreciate you for watching. So, like, thank you so much. I should, you know, thank you. So we are going to be asking ourselves, do we actually have the time and the energy, okay, the time and the energy to actually spend our time to be consistent at doing this thing? Okay, just be realistic. We have limited time, we have limited energy. We need to be spending it on the most important things, okay? And we should not make this new thing, right, makes us neglect, right? Makes, like our time drains out, our energy drains out on doing the other things. We do not want to, like do something new at the expense of not exercising anymore. We do not want to do something new at the expense of not meditating anymore. Okay. So the thing that we are going to be doing here is that we are going to make sure, right, just make a realistic, expectation, make a realistic make a realistic prediction. Just imagine, like on a day-to-day basis, are you going to be able to be keeping, are you going to be able to keep up with this new priority of learning the guitar, or maybe like learning a new language? Okay. And also make sure that it's not going to ruin your other priorities. Basically, you are going to be writing it down on a paper, and then also you are going to be reading it every single day. Okay. So now it's going to be exercising, meditating, studying, and playing the guitar. Okay. And then you're going to see, right, can you actually keep up with this new priority, right? Do you actually have the time and the energy to keep up with all these priorities? And if not, right, then you are going to be doing some re-evaluation. Okay, you are going to be doing some re-evaluation. And then one thing that I really do recommend, when you just have lots of priorities, you want to be good at this thing, you want to be good at that thing, then actually, the thing that you are going to be doing here is that you are also going to be consistently limit how much distraction that you have on a day-to-day basis. Because I kind of have this role to only have, you know, watch some entertainment for 30 minutes every single day, right? And once you realize how much you can actually do when you just stop scrolling mindlessly for hours and hours on a day-to-day basis on your phone, you are going to realize how much work you could have actually done if you just limit for how many minutes you are going to be doing the entertainment and stuff. Okay. And here's the thing, just because we have lots of priorities, oh yeah, I want to be consistent at exercising, I want to be consistent at studying, that doesn't necessarily means that one priority uh, should be seen as something that's opposing the other priorities. So, for example, we should not actually say that, oh, you know what, I don't really have the time to exercise because I need to study. Okay, I don't really have the time anymore to exercise. I don't really have the energy anymore to exercise because I need to study. We don't necessarily need to see our priorities like that, okay? Because when we see our priorities like that, we are going to be thinking like, you know what, I need to stop the exercise and just full on. I just like spend all my time studying. And basically, we don't need to see it this way because it's like it's kind of seeing these things as separate things. When in fact, actually, if you see it in a more holistic way, right? These priorities, right? These things actually helps each other on some way. So, for example, I'm gonna say that if you exercise and you study, actually exercising helps studying, and studying helps exercising. So here's the thing: if you just do some research, right, you're going to find lots of research about how exercising can actually boost your brain function. And when your brain function goes better, you are going to study better. Okay, one priority helps the other priority. And also when you exercise, right, when you exercise, the probability of you being healthy is going to be higher. When you are being more healthy, you can spend more of your time to study, okay, instead of resting and recovering. Okay. And also vice versa, studying also helps you on exercising, because here's the thing: once you have uh, the logical mind, right? Once you've got the logical mind, you are smart, then basically you are going to be using your brain in order to process the information that you've got, right? Here's the thing: when you exercise, you don't only exercise, you need to know what type of exercise that you are going to be doing, like how, like what's going to be the best method to exercise, and also do your own research, right? Of what is the right exercising, what is the wrong exercising, how do you actually know the right source of exercise, like the right source to trust, right? Whether a I don't know, whether a new source of new source of exercising is actually credible and can be trusted, or it's just not really scientific. When you study a lot, right, your brain function is going to be better, right? You are going to be able to think better. You are going to be used. Sorry, you are going to feel, you know, familiar to thinking, right? To logical thinking. And when you feel familiar to logical thinking, you think better and you process information better. You process information better, right? You can actually gather the right information on how to exercise properly, okay? Hence increasing your exercising game, right? So basically, I think that's it from me for today. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Yeah, I hope you can actually be consistent at whatever thing that you wanted to be consistent at. Bye bye.